All right, I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Cordova Recreation and Park District for this Wednesday, September 18th, 2019 at 6:30 PM. All right, call it to order, and I guess we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance first.
Okay, I'd like to invite up Sergeant Chuck Fowl with the Rancho Cordova PD and Sacramento County Sheriff's Department to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I just want to give a brief introduction of Sergeant Chuck Fowl. He has been a fantastic partner of the district. He has, in the last year, did a active shooter awareness program. Do you remember that?
I do.
And he was able to train the staff on how to best handle those types of situations. So he came out and trained us on that. He also was a key partner in a recent safety meeting that we had out at White Rock Park to address some of the issues they were having out there. Him and the homeless outreach team were there with our staff to discuss some of the issues that they were having out there, and we were able to clean up that park pretty great with our partnerships, and so I'm very thankful for that. In addition to that, he was also a member of the class of 13, the best class that Rancho Cordova leadership has had. And so I just wanted to acknowledge,
Point of order.
I just wanted to acknowledge that for reals. So
8 is great.
Oh, there you are, Matt. Okay.
yes. And just in genuine, thank you for all of your partnership, your constant involving us and including us in your safety meetings. We have Scott Norton, who regularly meets with the HOT team, and we are just very thankful for this partnership, and it really is making a difference in our parks and in our community. So I just wanted to genuinely thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I'm very honored to be here, be invited by Patrick, to be recognized and honored. It's such an important, my position with the police department, being the POP supervisor, and knowing what a huge part of our community the Park District is. And my job falls right in line with that. So having that partnership and being able to work so closely together is great, and I appreciate it. So you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would also like to add that Sergeant Rao was at the RCA meeting that I attended 2 weeks ago. So he's everywhere in the community. Wonderful.
All right, excellent. All right, we'll move on to roll call.
Director Reyes,
Here.
Director Lineback,
Here.
Secretary Sloan,
Here.
Vice Chair Danzel,
Here.
and Chair Yearwood.
Here. All right, board disclosures on action items. Anybody have anything they care to discuss, divulge? All right. All right, well, seeing none, we will move on to comments by the public on non-agenda items.
Thank you. Members of the public may address the board on district topics not.
Are there any items anybody in the room wishes to discuss? Pool?
I'd like to pull
All right, which one would that be?
C4.
C4. All right, you like to pull that for discussion? Is that what we're doing? Do we need to do that, or can we?
So we will move, so we can move to,
I think we'll just vote on them after the question has been heard. I don't.
so
think
we
we'll-
can, hold
Yeah.
on.
All right,
Yeah.
so what's your question?
Well, I was just curious about the fact of leasing a vehicle as opposed to purchasing a vehicle. For a 5-year lease, it's going to be like $47,000 or something, or? Then I was looking at it, and how much is a vehicle? I was just trying to.
So we have decided large purchased equipment would be best handled in a leasing instead of a purchase, because what ends up happening is with a lease, we have a maintenance plan that goes along with it. With a purchase, we are responsible for maintenance of that in some cases. And so we had brought actually to the board about 6 months ago the plan for future purchases, and the determination of whether we lease it or we buy it was based on the amount that we felt would be a better option for the district to lease those pieces of equipment, and this is one of those cases.
I thought I saw something about an option to buy, and then did it have $1 on it or something? Did you see that too?
Matt?
Based on the market at the time. Purchase, oh no, it's $1. So no, it is a purchase to own, so we will buy it for $1 at the end of the 5 years. Sorry. Yeah. So we're paying lease payments. We're not paying cash up front for it. We're gonna make
Okay,
lease
the
payments.
vehicle doesn't go back to them?
No, we own it after that.
Oh, okay.
For $1.
That's a great deal. I'll buy it for 50 cents if you want.
It's taxpayer dollars. We have to keep it for that $1.
Conflict of interest.
Are we gonna have graphics on this van?
That would be,
All right.
Not at this time.
Kids could paint handprints all over it.
all right. All right, any other questions about the consent calendar?
I just have a comment on the same subject since it was pulled anyway. I think it's a great idea. I thought made absolute sense. You know, you're a big district. You need to oftentimes provide transportation for children. They don't have their own driver's licenses and their parents work, so I thought it was great.
All right, anybody care to make a motion?
Yes, I will move that we approve consent calendar items C1, C2, C3, C4, and C5.
All right, motion by Director Reyes, do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Vice Chair Danzel, roll call vote.
Director Reyes?
Aye.
Director Lineback?
Aye.
Secretary Sloan?
Aye.
Vice Chair Danzel?
Aye.
And Chair Yearwood?
Aye. All right, looks like we'll move on to presentations. Item D.
Thank you. Item D1 is a presentation by the Cordova Community Council on the 2019 4th of July celebration. This is an informative presentation only, no action to be taken by the Board of Directors. And I'll turn it over to Director of Parks and Recreation, Jill Nunz.
Good evening, Chair Yearwood, members of the board. Tonight, I'd like to introduce to you Shelley Blanchard, who you all know, the Executive Director of the Cordova Community Council. She's going to give us a recap of the Rancho Cordova 4th of July celebration at Hagen Community Park, which was held on July 3rd and 4th of this year. Shelley?
Well, feels like I was here 5 minutes ago. Planning this event. Here to tell you we had another very successful Rancho Cordova 4th of July. Would like to thank you first for providing the beautiful park and the perfect weather. If you had anything to do with that, for a second year in a row, we had a 4th of July celebration in the 80s.
Yeah.
We're due for a scorcher. I provided you with a whole lot of written information. I hope you've had a chance to look at it. Just a couple of highlights. It is an enormous event. It's now costing close to $250,000 to put on the 4th of July. We have over 25,000 people who are attending it, making it one of the largest events in our region now.
Great.
It is hard to believe. Our relationship with Cordova Recreation and Park District just hums along, gets tweaked, and gets better each year, and totally grateful for all of the help we get from you. And a lot of people, I think you do get some benefit as you deserve to for providing such a beautiful, beautiful setting for such a wonderful celebration. This little thing I put together every year, it's sort of a snapshot of the numbers because some of them are pretty mind-blowing. I think people go to the 4th of July, have a great time and go home and have no clue of all the moving parts around them. But we do believe that the attendance was a little over 25,000 calculated this way, having to do with, we did sell 17,000 tickets, $2 tickets to walk through the gates. So that's a lot of tickets. We give out a lot of tickets to specific groups in the community. And children 5 and under are free of charge. So we know there's a lot of short leggers out there. And because of that, this is the number we arrive at. And I think it's probably pretty close. We set some records that I wanted to share with you this year. We sold more advance ticket sale carnival tickets than ever, but we set a new record for parking of cars. We parked 3,400 cars, which is the most we've ever parked. And the other new record we set was that we needed 10 government permits to celebrate our independence. And I point that out because I think that for those people who are remembering when this could be just a volunteer event, it really it cannot be anymore, just from even the perspective of having to secure 10 government permits. That's just something that your average Kiwanis Club or Rotary Club, they're just not going to do that anymore. So we have to bind together and do this together. Everything else, I think, went really smooth. We managed to not have anything huge stolen. We had no arrests, no injuries that we're aware of. We sold a lot of beer, but not too much. We served about 800 meals to our volunteers over the course of this event. We had a lot of trash carts, a lot of porta potties, and a lot of help from the Cordova Recreation Park District. So with that, I'm going to stop and just respond to your questions. Some of the survey data is sort of interesting for those of you in the room that might be interested. I mean, most of the people who come to our event who get caught in our survey say it's the first time they've ever been there. That, to me, is just totally mind-blowing. People come for the fireworks and they come for the parade. Our budget has gone up, as you can see, partly because the city of Rancho Cordova has asked us to manage the parade, so there's been extra costs because of that. But really, I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's not easy. It's a really complicated event. I'm on the air show board of directors, and I tell them over there, other than, the complications of having to run airplanes, the 4th of July is every bit as much complex as that event. And it's a real tribute, I think, to the Park District, to the city, to all the volunteers that help out, that we manage to, do it year in and year out, and getting better at it. So questions that I can answer for you? We are, by the way, going to be back in 2020. Whether you're, we're going to work around your pool challenges and come out on the other end, I think positively. It is stretching our creativity a bit, but that's okay. We'll get there. But on 2019, questions?
I have a comment to make. First and foremost, you do a great job.
Thank
I
you.
mean, I know there's a lot of, it's how many years has this been going on? I didn't get to make it this year. But I also wanted to tell you, the survey was thank you for sharing it with us, because it was very eye-opening. I was thrilled to see that many saw it as a family event, which is really good, family-friendly. I also love to see that the population that we are serving are people that really work hard, and they get a chance to really enjoy something special.
The income data, I would
Yeah.
agree with you, is pretty, and that is why it keeps confirming to me that we have to keep this at
Yeah.
$2 and make it very affordable.
Exactly. And it is the population that I think we need, the more residents of Rancho Cordova. It was also very interesting to see that people heard about it from friends. So that's awesome, because obviously if friends tell other friends, then they must have really enjoyed it, and it's not their first time. You know what I mean? Sure. So I just wanted to say that as anything, it has grown, and be careful what you wish for. Right. We wish for it to be big, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I'm so thrilled that the partnership between the Cordova Community Council and the Park District. Kudos to the park staff, Jill, you and your whole
Amen.
team. And, that whole effort, and you forgot 0 fires. I noticed that. So Shelley, good job. Thank you.
When you literally have tons of explosives in a place, you really celebrate when there's no fires.
It was at the parade?
There was a parade fire, yes. Someone came down, I think it was, I'm told it was around Georgetown, I'm thinking. And they had one of those Mylar balloons, which hit a power line, arced, and started a fire.
Oh,
So we had none at the park, but we had one at the parade. So there's a first time for everything. It didn't really cause a big fire, but it did put out the power in the neighborhood for a bit. So sorry about that.
Oh, well. Thank you.
Director Langbach, anything?
I too was astonished at the number of people who said it was their first time, because I do think people come year after year, and I don't know if it was just a fluke in the survey, but I found that astonishing. I was curious, and I don't know if you know the answer to this, 'cause I'm kind of putting you on the spot because it's regarding other statistics, but how do these demographics, age, income, things of that sort, not obviously did you come for the parade or the fireworks, but how do the demographics match up to the community?
I think it mirrors it very closely, and particularly in that area. You know, a phenomenal number of people walk to the 4th of July as opposed to drive.
3,000 cars and 18,000 participants, you
Yeah.
have a lot of walkers. yeah.
And so I think we really draw heavily from the neighborhood that surrounds Hagan Park. I think this is a real reflection
Yeah,
of who those folks are.
It's great, it's fabulous.
I'm not surprised about the response of first time. Because they've had that for a while, and every time I walked, first time I saw it, I did it. And I didn't do it again. I don't know if there's something tagged onto it, like sometimes you do this, and then all of a sudden, a week later, I've won some VIP trip somewhere, and I don't know where I signed up for it. But it's 1,000 people out of 25,000. So 24,000 people have been there before.
That's quite possibly true.
I'm thinking that. I can't say anything more than I love the event, and I'll always
Thank
be
you.
there.
Bless you.
Anything, Vice Chair Danzel? I know you were there. Yeah, you experienced it, so.
I did spend a little time there this year. But other
I
than
heard he
that,
slacked a little bit, but that's all right.
slacked a little bit this year.
No, not at all.
Well, that
got
was
some
kind of
sleep
how I planned to wrap up by a personal thanks to Brian Danzel, who is one of our really superstar volunteers at the 4th of July. Literally could not do it without him. He has seen some things
Yeah.
in his many years with the 4th of July. But, and I look at this board, Rick helps out at arts events and RCAA, the Athletic Association. Brian is right in the thick of it for the 4th of July. Michael is on our volunteer awards committee, so you're all so very involved in the Cordova Community Council activities, and that's gone a long way to helping build this wonderful relationship we enjoy today, so thank you.
Yeah, it was a great event. The fireworks show just keeps getting better and better and better. It was a
right.
very good show this year again. I hear last year was pretty good too. I wasn't here for that one, but yes, thank you.
Okay. Well, if that's it, I'll just say thanks a million, and we will see you sooner than I wish as we get ready for 2020, our biggest 4th of July yet. It'll be on, and I'm sure that will be true, and here's why. About 25,000 is becoming our new normal, but that's for Wednesday, Thursday events. Next year, the 4th of July is on a weekend, so you better watch out.
It's Friday, Saturday, or Saturday? What is it?
It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe?
Saturday, Sunday?
At any rate, it's a weekend event, and that always boosts the numbers up, for sure. People stay up later and, have more fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Friday, Saturday? Friday, Saturday. Oh, they should make it a 3-day event then. Come on,
That's,
you got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come on.
all right,
At least
Yeah.
keep the carnival open.
all right.
Keep the carnival open.
Moving on to item D2 in the presentations.
Thank you. Item D2 is an acknowledgement of promotions and introduction to new staff. We're very excited about this item, and we're going to start with the Recreation Department and then go to Human Resources and then Park Planning. So just so you're aware of the order. But I'd like to welcome to the podium first Recreation Supervisor Brandy Dion.
Good evening, Board of Directors. It's with great pleasure and pride that I introduce to you tonight our newest Recreation Coordinator, Ms. Shelley Romer. Shelley is going to be housed out of the Hagen Community Center, and she's going to oversee preschool, teens, and continue with our barn. So I would like to introduce her and let her say a few words.
Hi, members of the board. I just wanted to say that I'm so excited and I've been waiting so long for this opportunity. I started in 2013 at the White Rock Splash Park, and the next year I was asking, is there anything that I can do during the fall, because I loved working for the district. So they had me start at the preschool as an aide, and then the next year I became the lead planner for our field trips and our events. And then I volunteered for the barn because as a child I raised rabbits. So I was doing preschool and the barn, and then camp came along, and so I became involved with camp, and I started the art and science camp. Imagine that over there. My education and background is in science, and so I became involved in all of these different programs, and I finally had the opportunity to realize my dream of creating the science preschool classroom this year. So I'm super excited for all the changes and wonderful things that we're going to be doing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Great, wonderful. Next, I'd like to welcome to the podium Human Resource Manager Andrea White.
Good evening. I am very excited to announce a promotion in my department. Some of you have met Jennifer Wilfong. Well, you've all been affected by her since she does payroll, and we're all, always excited about that. But she's moved up to the Human Resources Specialist. I will no longer be supervising the front office, so this is the HR team. And Jennifer has taken on more and more responsibilities. She helps with prepare policies, does analysis, and she really takes a lead in implementing all of our HRIS systems, our human resources information systems. So she's implementing our T-sheets, that's our timekeeping software, and she's about to implement our onboarding software, and she does it really single-handedly. And so I'm very excited to introduce Jennifer Wilfong.
Thank you. I'm really excited about the new opportunity I have now. If I'm going to keep doing payroll and take on more HR responsibilities, and more software implementation is in my future.
Great. Congratulations. Jennifer, if I just may say, I've had a great time. I mean, we've worked closely with you, had a lot of working together in the finance and the policy committees, and I'm thrilled that you got this promotion.
Thank
Congratulations.
You. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes.
Andrea, it looks like you might be able to take a vacation now.
Next, I'd like to welcome to the podium Park Planning Manager Laura Taylor.
Thank you, Chair Yearwood and members of the board. I am also very happy and proud and thankful to present Christina James to you. You folks have seen her evolve over the past 5 years. She's gotten more and more involved in making staff report presentations. She came to us as a graduate master's degree program of the University of California, Berkeley in landscape architecture. She's worked for other government agencies, County of Santa Cruz, City of Folsom, among others. She's been able to bring her landscape architecture expertise to the district, and we've definitely benefited from that. One of the key things that she was instrumental in doing here recently was the Hillside Park. When it came to us from the design consultants, they were avoiding the hillsides. And Christina said, no, we need to make that an asset, you know. So one of the reasons that park turned out so unique is because of Christina's influence. And I can't tell you how many other things she's also influenced. And as we have moved into being able to implement some of the Measure J projects, which might not be an entire project or an entire park, but certainly are complicated and require a professional landscape architect's license, which Christina holds. The district is benefiting from it. She's growing, and I'm just so happy to introduce her. Oh, and one other little, this is a synchronicity thing. I feel like this was meant to be because Christina's parents, who live out of state, happen to be here tonight.
All right.
And so they get to see this, so. Christina?
Okay, 3 words, best boss ever. But seriously, this will be my 5th year coming up on that mark, and this is the longest I've ever worked at one place, believe it or not. And I have a phenomenal mentor in Laura, an energetic general manager and positive general manager, a supportive board, and just such great coworkers. So I'm very lucky to be here. Thanks.
Great.
We're lucky too.
And I wanted to say, I think, Christina, one of the other things that I've seen you pretty much present and work on were all the grants. I remember one time we were talking and you said, I do have experience in grant writing. And I noticed that planning department has all these grants, and we've been awarded if 80%, 90%, I don't know, but everything seems to have been worked out. So I know that expertise was necessary, and I know it was yours. Thank you, and congratulations.
Yes.
Okay.
So we did a little something different. So typically in the past, we did a cake celebration for those leaving. So we're flipping the tables, and now we're going to celebrate people coming on.
Wonderful.
And so we're going to take a 5-minute recess in the back, and we will celebrate the promotions and the new staff with some cake.
Wonderful. Okay, please, everyone, join us.
Is it pickle cake?
If you'd like, I can add some pickles to that. Yes. So if everyone could join us in the side room, that would be great.
Do I need to do anything official?
Does he have to?
Do I have to bang the gavel? Okay. All right, we're going to recess at 6:58.